your ass down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Week in Review. Thank you so much for joining on this very special episode number 60, coming out off the heels of Doooovid's appearance on Adam Green's show to talk about the significance of the number
846
in Gematria. Thank you so much. I am your host, Church of Entropy. Very happy to be here this week. We've got some fun clips as well as cute stories. So we will hand the floor over to Doooovid for introductions. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Doooovid.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. So, maybe we got some new people watching. Obviously, this is Week in Review, episode 60. We've been doing this more than a year. Me and Jennifer met through various streams, Luke Ford, Babcast, and had overlap in interests, largely physics, reincarnation, quantum mind, Hinduism, and have been making a show, Week in Review, where we talk about various science, conscious-related things, and also just a review of streaming. And we have guests and talk to various people, really about anything. But what keeps the show moving forward is overlap in interest in research regarding consciousness and the quantum mind and the various fields. So, generally been opening up the show with story and a tune. So the last few weeks I've been singing Hasidic tunes. For like a year I was doing largely mantras, and then I moved into tunes. And I was mentioning that most Hasidic tunes have this structure to be a meditation on the four-letter name of God, where they have, the four-letter name of God, Yud He Vav He, is like a 1, 2, 3, 2 structure, where the second letter is also the fourth letter. So in Hasidic tunes, usually there's a first part, second part, third part, and then a repetition of the second part. And that's in a form meant to be a meditation on the words, on the holy name of God. And certain tunes are related specifically to mantras. This tune, and I also try to do tunes that you're likely to hear if you go to synagogue, if you went to a Hasidic gathering of a sort, that these are actually, tunes that you might hear commonly sung in synagogue. So this tune, I think, is relatively new, maybe 20 years ago, Hasidic tune, and it became popular among really all types of Jews, mostly Orthodox Jews, but even some conservative and Reform people that go to synagogues. And it's interesting how tunes spread. The original tune had some sort of words, I forgot to look it up, something like, praiseworthy is the slave that sings to the king, and was originally just a 2-part tune with a slow part and a high part. And then the tune was extrapolated from its original words to to be used in regular prayer services, to add it to other mantras. So this week I do the tune that I guess was originally to Shira LaMelech, singing to the king. And as it was a 2-part tune, in order to fit the 4-part structure of most Hasidic tunes to be a meditation on the name of God, there was a first part that was added. And for people who know classical music, almost all these Hasidic tunes have a theme and variation, where the first part introduces the theme and is kind of slow, and the second part, a little faster, and the third part is high, to the repetition of the second part. So to set a spiritual tune for the show, a popular tune that you're likely to hear in all types of synagogues. So the first part, as I said, was later added to the song so it would fit the generic 4-part structure of most Hasidic tunes. Da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Da-da-da-dum, da-dum, ba-bum, bum, 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 bum. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, bum. Ay-ya-ya-da-dum, ay-ya-ya-da-da-yum, ahoy. Ay-da-da-da-da-ay-da-da-da-dum, ay-da-da-da-ya-yum, dee-da-dum, ay-yum, ma-ma-ma. Ay ay yada da, ay ay yada da yo, ahoy, ay day yada da, ay day da da da, ay da 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 ya ya, ay ay ya, ay ya. So I apologize. I think I messed that up in terms of the third part. I might have repeated as the second part is supposed to go higher. I apologize about that, as I didn't have a chance to prepare the tune and listen to it right before. But it's good to open with a tune and meditation, as generally these Hasidic tunes spiritually are representing like a theme and variation of moving up and down life path trajectories of the pains and struggles that we go through, and the good and bad things. As music generally, if you look at it starting at a certain note, and basically you could either move up and down, and the theme, if you know musical notation, might be a few note catch, but is basically a pattern for moving up and down in theory of Hasidic meditation, that these are deep lessons of the different trajectories could form common humanity. And also Adam Green talking about Messiah and spiritual leaders, that generally Messiah is likely in Judeo-Kabbalistic theory to redeem the world through chanting and music or such fields like that. But usually we to set the tune of a spiritual or collective consciousness, and the tool of music or chanting. That's how we open up the show. So and usually it's it's not a post show. So I guess we'll start. And Jennifer, we usually just say over what's going on, what streams we appeared on the week, the various things in the advancing of our research or ideas for people who've been following me or Jennifer's work for a period of time. So I'll hand it over to Jennifer to give her week in review.
Hey, Doovid. So unfortunately, last week, Doovid fell ill at the normal time Week in Review is scheduled. So I went ahead alone, and Elliot was there to be my co-host briefly. And then Doovid and I actually did a pretty good stream, I thought, on his channel the day after. So Monday evening, Doovid was feeling better, and we talked about multiple truth hypothesis and what was going on with regards to how people were understanding and conceptualizing of what was going on in the world. And I thought that was a great show. I also did a pretty long stream over on Daniel from Majority Rights, his channel. I think we got one of his fans in the chat right now who is recommending he come on. I don't actually have any contact with him, but I've got my email in the chat there if anyone's interested.